What's up, everybody? Well, I said we was going to do a winch test. We got a $130 setup versus a $20 setup. Actually, I paid 23 something when I bought mine. Now I found them. Let me show you. $20 and something. And here, let me show you this one over here. To this truck, it was 104, I think. Here's a picture to see. And that's without the winch controller. This thing here is still $25 setup. Let me show you right there. So we got 130 versus $21 before tax. So we're just gonna we ain't gonna push them too hard because this $130 setup is not mine. I don't want to have to pay for it. Break nothing. So anyway, here's the first thing. I think the batteries may be a little bit low in them, but I've changed the batteries, put the other ones I got, because see, I got another one just like it. My winch box burned up, but I still have a controller. It doesn't work his winch, unfortunately. But see, the batteries light it up. It lights up no problem. His does too, but it doesn't seem to get a signal sometimes. I got the winch line already out on his and on mine. Let's see. Now, I'll put it in my hand the way that you hold them. You know what I mean? The way I got mine set up, if you need the winch, you just take your trigger finger and switch and use this finger. And I got in and out road on them for people that don't know. And then, you know, you can give it some gas while you use your winch. You know what I mean? So, mine don't have a light on it. And it does have a little cover, which is pretty nice. I like that. So anyway, I can hold it right here. I'm trying to hold it in camera range, and it does pretty good. And now, let's go ahead and keep his the same way. Hold my finger on there. See a light on it, but you see it's not doing nothing. Out, sometimes it'll work a little bit. There you go, and it's kind of glitchy. But there we go. In. Don't want to pick up a signal or the crap, but watch this. If I don't know if it's because of low batteries or not. My batteries I put in here may be just as low. If I take them all out and put them back in there again, it'll work fine for a little bit for some reason. So it could be low batteries. But anyway, see, it's not working, but the light's on, right? Watch this. Ground it with your hand. You hear that going? Watch. It's on. Just ground it. There you go. So, I've kind of learned, I believe, because these are supposed to be in your hand, maybe your hand, when it's holding it, pushing the button, maybe by holding it, it's grounding it, because it works good when I'm holding it. It's alright, guys. We got some bad news there. As soon as we was outside, that winch controller would not get any signal, so the batteries must just be dead. Even the other ones I got. Bring it back in the house, and it still only works like when I cover my hand over it. So, we found a way around that. We're going with this manual switch. This manual switch came with my $20 winch. It was included in the kit. You got a wireless controller with the winch and this. Pretty cool for $20-something. And also, I ended up having to take them tracks off the truck and get them all kind of dusted off because, man, I made a mess in here last night carrying it in. They had mud clung to them. I had it all over my desk. Had it all over this whole thing where I set the other truck. So I had to do a little cleaning up in here before I could start. And look at this baby now. Those are the 2.2 Amazon specials on bomber rims. And I'm going to tell you what, they just look good on this truck. Now, they came on that crawler there that I got my high racks on, and they sucked on that truck the other day. They're brand new though, so they're not broken in or nothing. I think now this heavy truck will help it, and I think I'm going to get some weights to put inside of them, just like the mudslingers. We're going to make them heavy. They might not perform the best, but for trailing and stuff, I think they'll be fine. And man, it looks good. They're the perfect size for this truck. They're not as big as the Canyon Trails, but they're almost there. but yet they're bigger than the mudslingers that I had. But yeah, I like it. So all right, now I'm not gonna put my truck at the top and try to lift his truck from the bottom, because I forgot. My bumper has no roller wheel down here. I had to take it off the winch. The winch does come with one, so y'all are fine if you get one. Mine comes through the bumper, and you see this groove in here. My winch came with a wire winch instead of this string. And the first time I ever tested, I hung it down just like this, and you see it just like burned a hole in. So now this one will catch on mine. So I have to make sure to put my truck at the bottom and hook my winch up at the top and just lift it normal to where it's coming out like that as it goes. I cannot let it hang down and pull another truck up. His is fine to do so because he still has the wheel on his. And I can make his come down and hook to my truck. And by doing so, it will put his bumper onto this board. And it will keep it from messing with the shocks, putting too much weight on the truck, any strain. It won't pull it over. It'll be just fine right there on this board resting. So alright, we're going to try the power wagon first. See if I can get in here and get a good angle. I don't see this shouldn't be much problem. Actually, this truck is, like I say, it's just over 10 pounds probably without the other wheels and stuff. I can make it heavier. Oh, she's taking it right up though. I mean, and it's holding, so that's good. I mean, it's a $100 winch, so it ought to be able to do that, right? So that's pretty good. Not very slow, but it's, you know, it's not too fast or slow, either one. I've seen worse. So there you go. That one was a success. So now let me get this other truck hooked up here and see if it'll lift itself. So we're gonna try the big high trail with the $20 winch. And I don't expect this $20 winch to be all better or nothing either, so let's let you see what you can get for 20 bucks as well. Let's find out. I don't know if the string can even handle it, but I'm bringing her in the air. She don't want to hold the weight, you see that? So, okay. I guess we're going to have to get a $100 winch to win. You would think so, huh? Now, I think this winch used to hold better, but I kind of worn it out. This is not a brand new winch or nothing. Does not hold worth a crap when you go with all the weight. But honestly, if you are in a bind somewhere and you winch up out of a hole and you're using the throttle with it, you don't need as much power. And also, once you get up out of there, you don't need it to be holding for the most part. So we're going to say that the big winch wins. But it does. Look at that. The truck is in the air. It's lifting the truck. So as soon as I let go, she goes down. So. So, all right. Now I'm going to say this $100 winch, obviously, like we said, it beat as far as lifting more weight. And I'm going to tell you now, my high trail's heavier than it used to be when I first tested it. But when I first got the winch, it seemed like it was stronger. It seemed like it held, because I remember lifting it up in the tree straight up. I'll have to go back and watch my video to see how it held then. But anyway, $20 is still a pretty strong winch. Now let me show you. You're never going to have to winch your truck straight up in the air to get out of somewhere. You might have a tire stuck, or you might have to do something like that. But in a real world scenario where you're just winching along, you know, More than efficient enough. And it's fast, you see what I mean? I'm happy with this winch. I would definitely spend 20 if I was just trailing with the truck, because it does everything I ask of this thing. I mean, it can pick up that much, and it will run on 3S. I can put 3S in there, and it will lift this truck. I've done it. It will lift this truck about like that one was lifting it on 2S. But here's the thing. For that extra $100 or $80 or whatever, you get this whole gearing mechanism set up that gives you a lot more gear ratio to lock and keep that from, you know, spooling back out when you let off the power. This one has none of that. This is straight to the motor with maybe a couple little gears in there. So, you know, but like I say, when you are in a actual situation of trailing and you need a winch, not comping, but just trailing, as soon as you get unstuck, it doesn't matter if it releases a little bit of pressure. That's a good thing, kind of. So, if you want to go in a competition, go with a servo winch probably, but they can lift 25, 35, 45 pounds, you know. I have a servo winch somewhere around here if I could find it from KMS Winches. It's rated to lift like 25 pounds. He made a video of it. I know the thing works. That's how I burned up my other winch controller. I just never had the right mounts for it. And I like the way this one actually looks. You don't see a servo winch, so it's not as cool to me. But it would lift a lot of weight. This one here, I'd say a few more pounds added on, it would probably be maxed out. But I don't want to break his rope, break his hook, break his winch, none of that. I just wanted to see how it worked, you know. It works pretty good, not gonna lie. But I'm keeping my 80 bucks and I'm gonna buy this one anyway because it comes with all the other stuff. My winch controller still works. Now, he didn't have a winch controller on this one. That's probably just a battery. I'm gonna change it one more time and see if that does anything again. But like I say, every time I've done that, it'll start working. But as soon as I set it down and go somewhere, come back, it doesn't work no more. So they have to be low too. So, hope you guys don't mind this little test video. It's just my opinion. Somebody that's just, you know, out here trying to save $1 on something. So I still believe I would go with this $20 winch if you're on a budget and you just want something to have fun with. Do not buy that one on the down here. Do not do it. Trust me. This will not get you unstuck out of a mud puddle. Trust me. It won't even pull trucks in neutral barely up onto my trailer when I had it on there. It wouldn't pull this one up when it was in gear. And that was in high gear. So, just don't do it. Trust me. It comes with that same winch controller and everything. I have noticed they're putting the other winch controller with some of these. I guess they've realized they're not the best winch controllers now. Mine still has the button over it, so I'm going to still cough it up for the cheaper winch. It's the $80 value is a lot of money for a couple of extra pounds of lifting, unless you have a super heavy truck or maybe you've got the hauler or something and you really just need that extra oomph. If you're in a competition, you're going to run a servo winch anyway, probably. So that's just where I'm standing on it. Keep your 80 bucks. Get you a winch that will do just anything you need in a real world situation, not dangling your truck in the air all the time. Like I say, if you can lift your truck in the air, even the little bit this did, that means you got a pretty good winch to get you unstuck from something, or to get you up a couple of rocks or something like that. So anyway, we'll test mine out in some real world situations like that, scaled down real world or whatever, as soon as I get a chance to. So peace everybody. Thanks for watching.